Mo, we're coming to the end of June, but firstly, in the last 3 months here at the Garden of India and the other restaurants, how have things been?
We've been fortunate in some ways because we were very worried once we got put into lockdown. Obviously, it wasn't our choice, but we had to do what was right for everybody. And when we were asked to shut down, we did. We were very worried because before this, my main trade was about 80% dining in, and it was very minimal takeaways, deliveries, and collections. And my pricing isn't as competitive as other Indian takeaways or Chinese takeaways. I can't compete on price, but they can't compete with me on quality. That's what I've always based my product on. So I was very concerned. Luckily, yeah, because everyone wanted the food, yeah, and then because they were locked down and had nothing else to do, I think that's what kept us busy all the way through. So we have been busy, yeah. The margins are very small compared to what they were when people were coming in and having a drink and where it may be. And obviously my costs have gone up in the sense I've had to hire more drivers, I have to pay them on top of the staff I need to produce the food. But we've been going. It's not as busy as it was at the beginning, but it's enough for me to keep the doors open and be able to do all the charity work that I've been trying to do for our community. That's the main reason why I stayed open. Because I asked my staff at the beginning, I said, would you like to continue? Because of everything going on, if you guys say no, we can't continue because if you're not going to work, how am I going to run the restaurant? So they said, no, we know you want to do some things. You want to do something for the people of Harlow. So let's stay open, let's see what we can do.
And you must have got great feedback from doing all that.
We've been blessed. Everyone's been saying how much they appreciate what we've been trying to do, because I should put it, there's the frontline staff that everyone's looking after. A lot of people looking after them, but we've been fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to work with people like the Streets to Homes, the Rainbow Services. They put us in touch with a lot of other groups that need our help, not just the people that we know that need our help. And then we put a post out a little while ago saying, it's one of those, it's more of a personal thing. If you feel that you don't have enough in your house to feed yourself that night, give me a call, give me a message, private message me. Don't have to call me, and I'll send something over. That's been more fulfilling, I think, because it's the people that really, really need it kind of thing.
So July the 4th, government make this announcement. Is that going to help you? And if so, what changes are you going to have to make here?
Okay. July the 4th, we've been looking forward to that day because that's the day they said we can open. That's been a penciled in date for a while now. We were worried when the retail outlets were allowed to open that there might be a spike. If there is a spike, obviously they're going to shut us down. They're not going to let us open. So we were worried about that. But at the same time, they've been very vague about the guidelines in what we can do. There's been loads of different rumours and a lot of different things that people are speculating that we're going to need to do this, we're going to need to do that. The social distancing thing we've been ready for because the Garden of India, as you well know, is decent size for us to be able to have. If they wanted the 2 metre distancing, we could have done. What we were going to do is literally, we want to be able to operate at 30% of our capacity. So they haven't restricted the numbers of people we can have in here, and we'll just stagger the booking. But I don't want to operate more than 30%, which is 30 people in here at one particular time. But then all the restrictions they're putting in place, not so much the restriction, it's what I'm worried about is every customer that comes in, I have to have their details to be able to give to anyone. If somebody catches corona from, not saying from here, but say you've walked in, you might have it from before, we don't know, but you've been here, we find out that you've had it, then obviously you're going to say I was at the Garden of India, and then they're going to want to know who else is here, so I have to give their details over to whoever it goes to. But that can be a problem because maybe all customers might not want to do that because it's not compulsory, but I have to ask them. Yeah? And then I have to shut down for 2 weeks because obviously they've been here and we have to quarantine ourselves because my staff have been exposed. Doesn't matter how much gloves you have, with the visors you have, with the gloves as well. Every time they touch something, they have to throw away the glove because otherwise there's no point. So we're still contemplating how we're going to open. Even the guidelines they've given, they're still very vague. They've left it more to us, as per usual, as the government have done throughout this whole pandemic. They've left everything to us. Yeah, so we've had to make our decision. Now we're ready with all the hygiene and everything, but it's going to be a health and safety nightmare. Yeah.
But in general, for the future, we're coming to the end of June, but we're looking right through the summer and to the end of the year. Are you positive about the future?
Personally, if we don't have a second spike from now till mid, or we don't have a second spike, let's just say. Or if we do something that's manageable, we don't have a spike like we've had recently. You know, we've had the amount of deaths we've had in this country. I personally am shocked by we've hit that many numbers. You know, but you know, everyone's got different views of why that's happened and whatever it may be. So we won't go into that. You know, they are doing the best they can, the government, to the best of their ability. You know, we all have our views on how good they're coping, and we'll leave that one alone for now. But personally, as long as we don't have a second spike and everyone has some sensibility, some common sense, I think we should be okay. That's my personal view. But I've already said as well, when we first went to lockdown, I said realistically, we know it's going to last 3 months, over 3 weeks, it's going to be a lot longer, which it has been. But the sensible people who have been staying home, who have been trying to stay away from everybody, shielding, isolating, whatever it may be, going out only when they need to, for those people, and like yourself and me, it's going to take a year and a half, I think, before things go back to some sort of normality trade-wise. Yeah? And I know the takeaways that we've been surviving, they're going to drop once the pubs and everything open up because everyone's got something to do. But it's how... I'll be honest, I'm more worried about the pubs. I'm more worried about the pubs, that what's going to happen. And they're here, like I said, you've seen the restaurant have one person there, one table over there. Already when you get people coming in for collections, they're already sitting far apart from each other. Yeah, we've even had friends meeting in here for a takeaway. They've timed it correctly. Someone sat over there, someone sat by the window. They're having a conversation. They get to see each other and have a curry. So, positive in hope, yes. All depends on where we are with the R rate and if there is a spike. If there is a spike, then I think this year's written off anyway. But if the spike doesn't happen, then there's a possibility come Christmas time, yeah, we could go back towards some sort of normality business-wise. I need my business to survive. I employ a lot of people. But off the back of me employing people, I try my best to do as much as I can for my community. And the only way I can do it is if I have a business. If I don't have a business, I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Thank you very much for your time,
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Thank you for what you do as well.